Hey guys, this is Shrestha Kodraka and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the second episode of Girl to Goddess and it is very interesting topic which is types of men to avoid. So let's get right into it. Number 1, we have drug addicts and chain smokers. First things first, if you spend enough time around people with addictions, there is always a high chance of that you might also slowly pick up those habits. And before you even realize it, your life will start falling apart. So stay away from drug addicts and chain smokers. But some of you may say that you don't mind smokers. You might say, Shrestha, he's not a chain smoker, he just smokes a cigarette a day. That's not a big deal. It's not a big problem. No. Do you guys even realize that a single cigarette can reduce a whole day of your lifespan? See, the problem with addictions like smoking and drugs is the damage is not immediate. The consequences may appear many years later. See, when you're in your early 20s, smoking feels enjoyable and harmless, but by the time you reach your mid-30s or later, the long-term effects begin to appear. Lung cancer. If habits like this caused instant pain or side effects, people would quit immediately. But because the consequences are delayed, many people continue until it's too late. The reason why I personally don't prefer smokers is because I don't think I can kiss someone who smokes all day. Apparently, their breath reeks. So what's the point of having a boyfriend if you can't even kiss him? Second, unhygienic men. First of all, you. Do you guys really need an explanation on why you shouldn't date men with no hygiene? Really? Personal cleanliness reflects self-respect and discipline. If a person can't take care of basic hygiene and can't even take care of themselves, it shows lack of structure and responsibility in their other parts of life as well. Number 3, men who leave unnecessary hateful comments online. Having an opinion on controversial topics is different. He can express his opinion because it is his fundamental right, freedom of speech, but going on a random girl's dance reel or harmless post and leaving unnecessary hateful comments shows you his mindset. We all doom scroll. If not Instagram reels, YouTube shorts it is. We scroll. If we like it, we like it. If you don't, we just scroll. Why bother opening their comment box, typing something hurtful, using unparliamentary language and actually decide to click on post? Why waste your time and emotion on something you don't like? See, these people enjoy spreading negativity online and they also often carry the same disrespectful attitude in real life too. 4, a man who disrespects his family in public. See, no family relationships are perfect. Sometimes we argue with our parents and siblings. Sometimes it's their fault, sometimes it's our fault, and sometimes it's just a misunderstanding. We all have issues with our families, especially us brown families. But we'll figure it out sooner or later. But no matter what, we stick together because we know that when worst comes to worst, family comes first. And if a man can publicly humiliate that family, his family, he can also humiliate you. He'll have his very own personal reasons or trauma built up behind this disrespectful attitude. You can listen to him talking about it. You can empathize with that. You can show a little bit of sympathy. But that's it. You don't really have to date him. You don't have to deal with this shit. Once again, his trauma healing is not your responsibility. It's not your fault. So stay away from a man who disrespects his family in public. And the man who thinks disrespecting not just his family but anybody is cool, you better run away from. Number 5, man with no career vision. At this age, it's completely normal for people to not have full clarity about their careers yet. But even if someone doesn't know exactly what they want, they should at least have this mindset of trying to figure it out. He should be aware of the fact that his career is his responsibility. Everybody should be ambitious. It doesn't matter if they're filthy rich or they came from a wealthy family, because it's really not about money. So avoid men who lack seriousness about their own future. Some people stays in a constant party mindset, avoiding responsibility, living on other people's money, not even thinking to grow. Number 6, men with no discipline. There are different types of disciplines that matter the most. Let's get into each of it. So the first we have financial discipline. No matter how much someone earns, without financial discipline, it's odious. A man should have basic understanding of needs, wants, investments, and luxuries. And he should also know how to divide his income between these categories. Another very important discipline is sexual discipline. If a person lacks sexual discipline, it can affect their entire life, and if you are with them, it can affect your life as well. If someone has many friends with benefits relationships, it is a clear sign of poor boundaries. People who sleep with others purely because of momentary feelings or impulses, they lack self-control. These people live by the rule, I feel like doing something, I will do it. But in reality, to win in life, you should not always do what you feel like or what you want. You should do what is right, even if it hurts you or even if you don't feel like it, because that's what builds real character. Also, high risk of getting STDs. If you become sexually involved with people who has STDs, you'll get them too. On an emotional level, random sexual connections can create unwanted emotional attachments. If you create multiple emotional connections and attachments outside your family, your life's gonna be a living hell. That kind of lifestyle can slowly tear a person. Every time you're sleeping with someone casually, you're giving away your DNA biologically, and you're also giving a part of yourself spiritually and emotionally. People who lack sexual discipline lack spiritual awareness. Without a connection to your higher self, to your morals, to your faith, a person can have everything in life and yet still feel completely empty inside. Now I'll tell you why. See, when you love your partner, you care for them, you show the affection, and when it's consensual, perhaps it can be amazing because you're feeding the love. You're feeding the emotion in you by making love. That emotion is stored within you and it makes you happy. But when you do it with no emotion, you're feeding your lust, and lust won't last. Lust is temporary. See, you feel the urge, you do it, you satisfy it, and there's nothing left. So lust won't last, and that's why people feel empty. And that emptiness can push you into guilt, shame, depression, and it will slowly take over your mental health and your overall life. A person may eventually feel broken, emotionally exhausted, or overwhelmed by regret. And the only thing that can truly heal this emptiness is God, your faith, and reconnecting with your values. So to have all these, one must have sexual discipline. So I'd like to share an incident that I came across, and I don't want to get into details. So there's this girl that I found in waiting hall one day. She was crying, yelling on the phone so loudly, and her emotions were all over the place. I was just there admiring myself in the mirror. After a few minutes, she was still there crying, so I just went up to her and asked, "Hey, are you alright? Are you okay? Do you need anything?" And she was like, no, I'm fine. And I was there for 2 more minutes and I asked her again, "Are you sure you're alright? Are you sure that you don't need anything?" And then she opened up. Apparently, the guy she had sex with the previous night had been ignoring her ever since. I don't know if it was her boyfriend or some random dude, but he's been treating her terribly, like he just tossed her away right after. She was feeling used, she was feeling filthy, and she was having complete emotional meltdown. I sat there, I tried to console her. She was filled with shame and guilt, she was crying and crying. That day, after seeing her like that, I decided, ain't no way I'd put myself in that position. I'd never do that to myself. No way. That moment turned into a little therapy session. I just couldn't help it. I'm a kind woman. After a while, she asked me if I ever done something like that, and I was like, no, I never did it, and I've never even been in love with anybody, so I never did it. She asked me, what would I do if I were in her position? I told her I'd cut him off immediately, and then she asked me, like, no, what if he's really busy, and what if he's going through a lot, and maybe that's the reason why he ignored you, that's the reason why he treated you that way. Would you still cut him off? And I was like, yes, I'd still cut him off completely and immediately. She was like, You will not understand my pain, leave it. I got so pissed. I was like, look at me, look at me. I may not literally feel your pain and I don't have to feel your pain, but I can understand you and what you're going through. Thank God I have clear, beautiful eyes. Unlike you, I can clearly see what's happening here. You might have loved him very deeply, but I don't think he ever did. And in fact, I think he simply played you. If I were in your position, I'd still leave him no matter how strongly I got attached to him or how deeply I'm in love with him, because I don't stay at a place where I'm not valued. I might mourn him for the rest of my life, but I'd still leave because I'm Sreshta Kodreka and I refuse to be delusional and weak. And I think you should do the same. And then she went silent and I left. Stay away from hookup culture and from the people who promote that lifestyle. If you do this, you can save yourself from a worst situation possible ever to face, and that can be crying continuously, suffering from a panic attack due to emotional exhaustion, all alone on your bathroom floor in the shower. Do you want that? So protect your peace, your dignity, and your emotional well-being. And let's normalize not being stupid or weak. Let's normalize doing the right thing even if it hurts to death.